guys. We're going to get to that interview shortly, but we have an amazing interview now because speaking of applause and very, very do so, our farmers and our ranchers. Can we give it up for all farmers and ranchers on Guam, ladies and gentlemen? Absolutely. They are a vital, absolutely critical part of our island economy, of our culture, of our heritage. In many ways, they are the heartbeat of who we are as Pacific Islanders, respecting the land, being able to live off of it, being able to do so in a sustainable fashion, and passing the lessons and the traditions down to a younger generation. And of course, farmers and ranchers, both sides of the coin. Farmers and Ranchers Appreciation Month is coming up. So we have in the KOM News Zoom room, we have Kat Regis and Michael Uggan. They are experts and they are leaders for this very respected and essential community. Well, they're shaking their heads now. You wouldn't consider yourselves like okay? So Kat, you're in Mingalao. Mike, your farm is down in Malolo. Good soil down there.
Yes, thank you.
But thank you for being with us today, and of course, ever humble and everything. But the one thing that both of you and the membership you do represent, you both and all of you take pride collectively in. What a blessing it is to be able to be a rancher or a farmer on Guam, and how much that means to our culture.
That's true. Thank you, Jason, and thank you for having us on your show today. And one of the reasons you asked us is to talk about the appreciation of farmers and ranchers. And actually, that is the purpose of the Farmer Rancher Appreciation Month. Is we want to appreciate and acknowledge the efforts and dedication of the farmers and ranchers. And you are right. Farmers and ranchers are the backbone of the agricultural system.
I like that better. I said heartbeat, but I'll take backbone better. It's just, all parts of the anatomy of Guam, but there is a lot of credit that is due to our farmers and ranchers.
Yes, they're the one who knows how to plant and harvest fruits and vegetables, especially during different times of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like the people to know that farmers are resilient, especially with weather conditions and issues that we need to deal with in order to maintain healthy crops, especially when we have to navigate through this pandemic crisis. And so we like the people to know that the farmers are working very hard, to put food on their table.
Mm-hmm.
At least 3 meals a day. And if you really think of it, we need farmers every single day. I know there are professions out there that we need at some point in our lives. Like when we're sick, we go to the doctor. When our sinks are plugged, we call the plumbers. Or when we need to build a house, we get an engineer. And they are important. They're important in life, and without them, life would be difficult. But with farmers, with life, we need farmers. Life will not be sustainable.
Absolutely. I've been to several fast food places many times over the last couple of years, and they say, we apologize. There's a sign on the drive-through part, and it says we apologize, but we don't have salad today. Because quite possibly your local farmer wasn't able to produce, that crop for whatever reason and everything. So there is a direct pipeline in how this affects our livelihood, our economy, and and like as you said, the backbone of Guam.
Yep.
Yeah, so Mike, maybe we can pivot to you now, because I remember the last time we had you on the show, it was a very, very tense time for the island's farmers, and you spoke very honestly about about the plight of people whose entire livelihood, as Kat just said, was raising livestock, raising and harvesting crops and everything. Where are we right now? Hopefully, with some sense of stability, now that the pandemic's starting to slow down, with our beloved farmers and ranchers.
Yes, Jason, thanks for bringing that up, because that's very important. Back in 2020, when we last talked, and before that, the farmers were kind of in a limbo state, because all the customer base, the restaurants, hotels, and they all shut down. And I think you recall we came up first was with the drive-up produce bags, the mixed bags. It was just basically to keep the farmers producing, right, at minimum, but at least they were still producing and making some money on the side, for themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
We wanted to just sustain the productivity, because should everything open up, we don't want to have that lag time of 2 to 3 months before you start putting more produce out. So
Hmm.
at least sustaining that, right? The capacity is still there. And anyway, so we opened up our farmers market, the indoor, and we continued with the weekend and all that
Thank you,
to,
sir.
to increase that capacity. And so over the last say year and a half or so, the farmers actually have been stepping up more and more in their productivity. So that's a very good sign where every time we hear of a restaurant or some other establishment opening up, where we jump on it right away. We try to reach out to them and get their input if they need any kind of produce or whatever from us. We've been really paying attention to those and getting on it so we can supply produce to them, and then at the same time we're keeping our farmers again expanding
Mhm.
little by little. So they really are. I myself just started planting after 2 years. Like
Yes. How? Okay, Mike, if you would
Viva.
tell me how that felt. You know, to finally do so and to know you were doing so. You know, with hopefully the reassurance that not only would the crops bear literally, there would be a crop that which you could harvest, but also that you could then sell it to industry or pass it on to customers, and you could continue your livelihood.
yeah, and this is the busiest job that I don't get paid to do. But yes,
But it's out of love.
prior to the pandemic, I was really producing a lot of things, and I was out there. I had all this huge customer base that and I was really out there putting things out in the market and restaurants, all the time. And then when it happened, I pretty much shut down because I had to release my workers because they were, they had to go, they want to go visit family and friends in other places. So I said, why don't you guys just go because I can't keep you going back and forth. At that time we didn't have the whole knowledge of the pandemic, right? So we didn't want to risk things. So I let them go, and then I just stopped farming because this co-op, the farmers co-op, just became the main focus and it's been 2 years, and I've just been so much focus with Katrina here on the co-op that I just had to let the farm sit for a while. And she did too. She was lucky enough to get it going earlier than I have, but yeah, so it's always been about getting the other farmers going. And I felt too, inside, I didn't really, say anything, but for all the customers that I used to do, majority of them are going to the other farmers right now. And, it's good.
Mhm.
At least doing something. So,
Well, in the aggregate, the life cycle is sustaining itself, so that's good. Yeah, and hopefully it will, like balance itself off and everything. But
yes.
Mike, I gotta ask, since this is the first time you planted, what did you plant for that first time?
Eggplant.
Ooh.
And the reason why it was eggplant is because our main partner is the University of Guam's cooperative extension, and then the research and all that at UOG, the CNES, right, College of Natural and Applied Sciences. So we work with them all the time, and especially in my farm, I've been doing it for years too. So they asked to do a project on my farm, and they help provide the eggplant and all that, so they can do their research on it, right? Well, that's what kind of spurred me like 4 weeks ago. And I finally put it in the ground, and now I'm getting ready to do some other crops like watermelon and hot peppers and others.
Oh, nice. There is nothing in the world. I've said this many, many times. If you've had watermelon that was grown on Guam, you don't know what you're eating until you sink your teeth into it. I mean, you get it when it's shipped in and everything like that with the meal. Okay, it's sweet,
Yeah.
it's delicious, it's juicy, but you actually eat one watermelon and cucumber on Guam that was grown here. It's its own thing.
Oh yeah, my farm is a cucumber farm, but I have.
You're now my favorite person in the world, Kat.
All right, Jason.
I love local cucumber. That's the best.
But even local eggplant, there is a shortage of eggplant here on Guam. But my farm is also used as an experiment for University of Guam. Mine just started his eggplant. I am now harvesting mine, which is perfect because when I complete my harvest, it's going to be time for him to harvest his. So we're hoping that these farmers would get on a schedule where we can alternate the harvesting, and that way there'll be a consistent supply
Everybody
of
benefits.
eggplant.
Yes. Okay, well, Kat, I have a couple comments that I want to read. Kat, this first one is probably going to make you really happy. Odilia says, farmers and ranchers, and then uses 3 of the emoji with the, like and she goes, Mungie Town.
Monkey South.
Money Town.
So that's one. And then I've also got a comment from a Richard who says, thank you, everyone, for the hard work that you have all provided and also for sharing.
Yes.
And I think these comments speak for all of us in the community, because there was a very palpable effect that we felt when our farmers and our ranchers weren't able to do the jobs, Mike, that you said that you love and you do this, and I mean it is very, very hard work. A lot of these, correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of these operations are generally family run businesses. Some of them are just like 2 and 3 people. I mean, they don't have stock options and massive 401k programs and everything like that. A lot of this is your bottom line is whatever that season's harvest will yield.
Yeah, but I would like to just say thanks to the people of Guam actually for really stepping up to and supporting the farmers. Ever since this pandemic started, when you talk to them, they're always willing to support the farmers, buying their produce and all that. Without them, like, we couldn't do anything, right? So, and we've been putting directly into their hands for the past 2 years. So we appreciate all the residents, especially those that have been coming up to the co-op and helping purchase our produce. So yes.
We'll tell you what, if we could actually give you guys our money and get one of those really cool T-shirts that you guys can we get a shot at like the T-shirts? Those are nice.
Don't worry, we promise we'll get you one.
Oh, thank you. I would be happy to pay for those for all of us here, like here at KUM, because those are really, really nice. And speaking of that, maybe Kat, you can speak to this, because how has the foot traffic been? You're talking about the farmers co-op a few minutes ago. How has the foot traffic been? At the Dedido Farmers Market, because I live in that part of the island, and I see the food trucks are always going to be really, really popular and everything. But it seems like the farmers market is really picking up too. Is that correct?
That's true. Yes, our foot traffic has been increasing slowly. We are putting ourselves out there, increasing our public awareness, and it's good to see the people coming to the market. They're also inquiring about different produce that I've never heard about, and I was like, oh, this is nice. So we reach out to our farmers and we ask them, can you grow this produce?
Mm-hmm.
And so they said, okay, well, just to see that interest in the farmers. And also on the weekends, it's also picking up as well, and that gives them an opportunity to engage with the farmers, find out how the produce is grown, and it's nice to have that personal touch with the farmers,
Mm-hmm.
and having that connection with the farmers and knowing where your produce is coming from. And we think that is very important, and that's why keeping the farmers market open on the weekend is an opportunity for the community to come and buy their produce.
I mean, you go to the farmer's market, it's a win-win either way. You're going to come away with some absolutely delicious gola. You're going to meet some people that genuinely care about what they do and know their role, and they'll be happy to serve you. And you can basically help them stay in business, help their livelihood, and you can make a really, really kick-butt salad. Or whatever you want to make. And
Yeah.
Again, I'm biased towards cucumbers, but that's just me.
I grew Japanese cucumbers, just so you know.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So maybe we can talk about now with Farmers and Ranchers Appreciation Month coming up. What will be done to celebrate that month throughout the month of May? There's a proclamation coming up on May the 14th. But what's going to be done, and then how can we, the community, interact with you and be able to say thank you in a proper way?
Well, what we're doing is we're having this event on May 14th. Again, we want to acknowledge, the efforts and dedication of the farmers. The event will kick off at 9 o'clock in the morning till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The governor will be there, and the lieutenant governor, for the signing of the proclamation, again acknowledging the farmers. The public, is invited. Of course, it's during the weekend, so you'll have an opportunity to meet the farmers. There's going to be local produce. There's going to be livestock there. There's going to be displays from our farmers. There will be tables, displays for the aquaculture, the hydroponics, the bees association will be there. The public will come and get to see what is involved in the agriculture system. So we're covering from land to sea or land to water.
Hmm.
For the agriculture system.
And
So,
and maybe for people that don't know, can you talk about like how what is the farmer and rancher and and maybe even the fisherman community like? People that that respect what nature has given us and live off that. But how is the community? It's not chippy. There's no like internal politics or there's no drama and everything like that. Everybody supports each other, right?
I think they're too busy working to get into those.
yeah,
That's the way I am.
I agree. Yeah, we don't have time. We need to put food on the table.
Well, you respect
So
nature, and if you don't, nature's going to work against you. When it's time to harvest, it's time to harvest.
Yeah, we want to get ahead of that rainy season and so forth, and prep our farms and protect them from inclement weather. So yeah, farmers and ranchers are busy out there. So we don't have time for any of those politics.
Okay, and maybe Mike, I'd like to wrap up this interview maybe by asking you. So, through times of struggle, opportunity very often comes about too. So I appreciate how both of you talked about the projects that you've done with the University of Guam, and this gets a younger generation not only aware of farming and ranching, but also maybe interested in it. And how do you pass these lessons down to a new generation to make sure that the island tradition of farming is not lost, and that we really get like new people who maybe never considered doing that, get them into the practice.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because that's a big concern. And also, actually, to be honest, I've been impressed doing a lot of the work with UOG has really opened my eyes to the fact that a lot of these younger people, the generation, they have a lot of interests, and I never expected that, actually. Just looking at my own kids there, to get them to help me work on the farm is, that's not an easy task to get them. But there's
You got to take away their iPhone, Mike.
Yeah. I about a month ago or a month and a half ago, one of the extension agents, Roland Kittigwa, brought his class to my farm because they were doing a class on tree pruning. And so he brought his class down, and they pruned all my calamansi trees that I had there. And they were a really great bunch of kids. They showed a lot of enthusiasm in doing that thing. And they were even asking, they want to come back and help me harvest the watermelon when I mentioned they said they want to volunteer to come back and help harvest. So, I think UOG is doing a great job in their college there that they have, right, is spurring a lot of interest there. So that's a good thing too. Even because we're also involved in our conservation districts, and we do a lot of outreach too, like that with them. So we're hoping that more are starting to come up. So, and this pandemic really helped too for them. These young people seeing there's planting stuff in their backyards also.
Okay, so being forced to stay at home and not being able to socialize and interact in the way we okay, there you go. You got to connect with nature.
We're also providing workshops from UOG, and we're using the Farmers Co-op as a place
A venue.
that will be a venue for our workshops. We also reach out to our USDA partners with FSA and NRCS, Farmer Services Agency, and the Natural Resource Conservation Services. So we're reaching out to them so they come and they give out workshops. So we open it up to farmers or whoever are interested in public. That's what we've also been doing, is looking at. And then also they use our farms as labs. Like Ronald Kittigwa went to his farm. Jesse Bomba and his students came to my farm to identify pest control, the IP, integral pest management. So they're there to identify the pests and how we can combat these pests on our crops.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, UOG is a very important partner for us and our farmers. Yeah.
So it is a very beautiful and virtuous cycle that you guys have created and everything like that. So I mean, I can't say enough, and this is from the heart. We're very, very glad that you guys were able to pull through, to come together as a community, to be part of the larger Guam community, and also to get a new generation, as I said, of young people interested. in farming. And I want to let you guys go because it's almost 7:30, so we want to make sure that you guys can plant more, water the crops, pick if you need to, harvest it. Because don't blame me if it was too hot in there. Jason kept us in Zoom for like forever, so now it's hot.
You're fine.
I greatly respect the work that you guys are doing. So please come back anytime because you guys have a standing invitation here on the link. We really, really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Okay.
Having
Thank
us.
you.
Yeah, and
Jason.
we'll talk to you guys again in May. So ahead of time for Farmers Ranchers Appreciation Month. Biba Ranchers and Farmers.
Hey.
All right, so that's Cat Rageous and Mike Uggan. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.
Okay,
Thank you. You
too.
too.
All right. So hey, next time you guys are eating some wonderful produce, or you see a very, very healthy cow out to pasture and everything like that, if you see the farmer, the rancher right there, just roll down your window and say thank you. I appreciate what you do. They're gonna appreciate it right back. All right, we are gonna take a break, and we will be right back after this.